What's up, you guys? Call Scooter here, and today we're gonna finish the fight and see if we can beat Tiny Tina's Wonderlands using spells only. Comment down below and let me know what other games or playthroughs you'd like to see next. Now, let's get into the rules. In battle, I'm only allowed to cast spells. I can hold weapons for their annoyance, but I'm not allowed to shoot them at enemies. I can, however, shoot them at objects if the mission won't let me progress without doing so. And lastly, no Nova Shields. This rule was typically for the early game where the cooldown was a huge issue. I thought it would be too cheesy just to let the Nova Shield do the work while I was waiting for my spells to reset. Anyways, this video is like 3 weeks overdue, so let's just go ahead and jump into it. They say the suggested level for this area is level 30, and we're currently level 26. We did pretty well in the previous video with being under leveled, so we're just going to continue forward. I really don't want to have to grind if we don't have to. Almost immediately, we're feeling the effect of being underpowered. These base enemy zombie archers aren't cutting us any slack, and we aren't doing anywhere near the damage that we need to be doing. We end up dying in the very first area of this map, which is never a great way to start the day. I did notice something though that has given me some hope. Almost every spell we land is a critical hit, including our ricochet damage. Now, originally, I had set up our hero points in the spell cooldown and status damage, which I still stand by the spell cooldown points being where they are, but I've thought of a much better place for those status damage points. If we have an efficient way of almost always hitting a crit, it makes no sense not to capitalize on this and increase the damage those crits do. We head back to Brighthoof, and hopefully these changes will give us the edge that we need. Round 2 in the first area goes far better than when we were last here. It's pretty cool that a simple tweak can make or break your character. It also kind of sucks though if you don't know what you're doing, which is why you should smash that subscribe button right now. The Borderlands series was the first I played on this channel, and it's not going away anytime soon. Our next run after we beat our Pokemon Nuzlocke of Brilliant Diamond is actually going to be a run through of Borderlands 2 with Joe M, Lotus, and Legend. But more on that later. We ended up getting a little sidetracked and take on the obelisk here. I just kind of wanted to test our character out on something more than just your typical enemy. I really wish I could say that it went great, but I can't. I can say we didn't die though. The Dragon Lord is going to be level 30ish, and this guy is level 27, and we still aren't doing great amounts of damage. The smaller boss fight really made me want to go grind some legendary spells, but when I decided to look up designated drops for bosses, only 3 actually have a spell in their loot pool. That means either I cross my fingers and hope for a world drop, or we press on as is. And press on we do, straight into the final boss fight. And can I just say, this introduction, this cutscene into a boss fight is probably one of my favorites.
I'll make my own introductions. Thank you very much. No more games.
The boss fight starts out pretty smoothly. Sure, it's a bit of a struggle fest, and we feel like we're just trading blows with the Dragon Lord. But with all these weak skeletons to get revives off of, and him not having any super crazy moves that we can't just avoid with some quick maneuvers, it truly feels like this boss fight is in our favor. Which is saying something, because on our first playthrough of this game, it did not start out this well, even without the added condition of doing spells only. Also, if you hear dripping in the background, it's because the ceiling in my office is currently leaking. But this video is so overdue that I'm not going to put it off until the ceiling is fixed, so think about maybe hitting that like button. That'd be awesome. The Dragon Lord is out to make me a liar with the final stage of this boss fight. He summons out the legendary Blue Eyes, and we just can't touch this thing. I was really hoping we'd be able to continue with our struggle forward method, but between the tankiness of the dragon and our inability to put out good amounts of damage, it just becomes a losing formula. We end up going down, and the game seems not to want to gift us with any more weak enemies to get a second wind off of. We were so darn close. I think we'll go grind up to level 31 on the 3 bosses that have a chance at dropping legendary spells, and come back, hopefully, in a much better position. I decided just to summarize the 4 hours we spent grinding rather than just trying to cut it in and fit it into the video. We run back and forth between two bosses as one has the chance to drop the flamethrower spell and the other one has the threads of fate. We decided not to hunt for the twister as just the thought of the slow projectile heading towards fast flying enemies gave me a headache, but we got neither of them to drop. We do have some decent purple spells and now we're on level. I think we got this. I believe in us. So the dark magic meteorite falling from the heaven spell we got is doing work. Instead of doing chips, we are now finally doing chunks. Having it along with our fire spell, we're doing a lot more damage and moving a lot faster through this. I'm feeling pretty confident for when we have to tackle old Blue Eyes again. Last time we fought this boss, these dragon crawler things were one of the attacks a Dragon Lord does that gave me a bit of trouble. Our spells weren't strong enough to one-shot, but now we take 2 out with 1 meteor, so that's pretty cool. No, I kinda screwed that one up. Luckily we don't go down, and can I just say we're using a level 6 class mod right now. Granted, it is one of the best class mods you can get for this guy. I mean, we just recover health like crazy, which has been one of the biggest factors for us staying alive this entire run. But it is level 6, so it could definitely still be better. So this part I was a little bit nervous about because I was like, is my meteor going to be able to actually hit these dragon things that heal him and fly in the air and just are a problem, right? They do, and they one-shot, which is absolutely fantastic. This run is going amazing. Bro, I'm feeling like such a beast out here. That grinding was absolutely necessary, although we could have probably stopped around like level 29. So I wanted to take a moment to talk about the run Lotus, Legend, Joe, and I are going to be doing through Borderlands 2. The challenge is that if you die, you have to go to the nearest cliff and throw all your loot off. I think it's going to be a ridiculous and fun run, and I can already hear the guys begging for a revive or being low-key salty. They have to now go eat their loot because they got barrel trolled by one of us. I do have to finish our Pokemon Nuzlocke first, but this run is coming right after. Please let me know any other games or playstyles you'd like to see on the channel. Let me know in the comment section and it'll be added to the list. Next stage of the boss fight, and this is where the Dragon Lord decides to take to the air. His attacks change a little bit, but not by much. Since we had no problem with the first round, this one will be simple as well. He does summon different enemies now. You have these baby dragons and the normal dragons that fly around. The baby dragons aren't a problem at all, but the other ones definitely can be. We have to take them out as quickly as they come, because if they gang up on us, that can take us down fast. Alright, time for the final stage and the return of Bernadette. Now, the way this part works is you have to beat both of them, but you can't just take out one and focus on the other. They alternate which one is immune and which one isn't. Bernadette was seemingly immune even when she wasn't last time because of how tanky she was, but hopefully now that'll be different. Time to find out, and I can't even tell if that meteorite hit her. That's not a good sign. At least our fire damage is... At least we can tell it's hitting her. I don't know about our meteorite. We might have to switch it out here in a second. That's not a good sign. We ended up changing out the meteorite for the lightning bolt. It isn't doing great damage, but at least we can tell that it's hitting. Nope, alright. Lightning is out and back to our Pokemon knowledge of dragons being weak to ice. It has a lot of projectiles, and as long as I can halfway aim, it should do enough to help us get the win. So, I don't know if this spell's just a million times better, or if the bosses take more damage each time they switch out of their immunity phase, but this is super reliable. A few more ice spikes directly to the heart, and Bernadette explodes. Now it's time just to take down the Dragon Lord. It doesn't appear that he's going to last much longer either, though. He does teleport right at 1 HP and flies around for a bit, but he goes down to the might of our spells, giving us the W. Now, there is a little bit of post-game content, but none of it is really too interesting to me. If any of you want me to go and see how far I can make it through the Chaos levels, I will. Just let me know by commenting down below. But with that, guys, we beat Tiny Tina's Wonderlands using spells only. That was a pretty fun run. It definitely had its ups and downs, but I definitely enjoyed it more than, say, a melee only run. Please leave a like, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.
Take it. I thought I could finally decide my own fate.